If you are exerting every ounce of your willpower to solve a mountain of debt or a chronic health issue, you are likely using the least effective strategy available. It's like swimming against a riptide. The harder you fight the current of your present circumstances, the more exhausted and stationary you become. There is a counterintuitive way to handle a crisis. Instead of meeting the struggle with force, you move through it by mentally reclassifying the entire situation as a memory. Consider the delay in how we experience the world. If we view our environment as a sequence of causes, what you see as your current reality is actually the final physical result of thoughts you had weeks or months ago. It is a shadow that only reaches the present after the mental act that created it has already finished. This delay means that trying to fix the present is like trying to change a shadow without moving the object casting it. To change the trajectory, you have to mentally relocate your current pain into what Goddard called the dead past. Solving a persistent problem requires a total withdrawal of attention from the current evidence. When you render the physical circumstances irrelevant, you stop feeding the cycle that keeps them alive. Most efforts to change our lives fail because of how we use the future tense. We say, "I will be wealthy," or "I will be healthy," believing we are setting a goal. In the subconscious, "I will be" acts as a confirmation of current lack. To state you will be something means you are not it now. The mind struggles with contradictory states. Focusing on a future goal locks your subconscious onto the lack of it. Neville Goddard developed a specific framework to circumvent this mental block. He taught his students to use a simple 3-word preface, "I remember when." This phrase performs a specific mechanical function. It drags a current struggle into the past. Claiming to remember a problem signals to your subconscious that the problem is already over. The words we use define the boundaries of our experience. When you change the tense of your inner conversation, you change the structure of the reality you are allowed to encounter. Goddard illustrated this with a man building a vast real estate empire using this shift in perspective. He started with nothing but empty lots. This man would stand directly in front of a barren piece of land. To any observer, he was looking at dirt, but he refused to let his senses dictate his internal state. He would look at the emptiness and say, "I remember when this was just an empty lot." As he spoke, he would fill that space with a completed structure in his mind's eye. The words, "I remember when," provided the foundation for him to visualize the finished building as an established fact. This was his consistent method. By the end of his career, his mental architecture had been replaced by massive physical manifestations of stone and steel. He achieved these results by subjectively claiming the end goal as a reality in his imagination before a single brick was laid. Creation is the act of conceptually moving a problem into the past. This frees the present to be occupied by the solution. The effectiveness of this technique is found in what it implies. When you speak about a struggle in the past tense, your mind must accept that the struggle has been resolved. Take a common modern stressor, a $400 monthly rent bill that feels impossible to cover. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, close your eyes and tell yourself, "I remember when it was a struggle to pay my rent." This sentence carries a specific psychological payload. By remembering the difficulty, you are confirming that you have already moved beyond it. It places you in the identity of someone who now possesses the necessary funds. This requires an emotional anchor. You must summon the specific sense of relief and the physical thrill that follows a long-standing problem finally being solved. You must be disciplined enough to ignore the physical evidence of your problems. Turn your back on the current shadow and focus entirely on the new state you have claimed. You are the architect of your own timeline. By making your current pain a memory,